So here's what the first version of the Facet Flyer game looks like. It's got blistering fast action, exciting head-to-head play, and state-of-the-art graphics, at least for 1970. I like the vector graphics aesthetic, like in old sci-fi movies where they would have a cut scene and show the hero at the computer console showing the readouts of the ship or some kind of data packets or whatever was going on for the plot of the movie. I put some examples here. For example, Star Trek the Motion Picture. Silent Running. Some other popular movie at the time. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Some other popular movie at the time. Dark Star. So I made this world, which is just a set of points. And it kind of has a minimalist look and feel because it just shows the points as dots on the screen. But I could have made them as lines and it would look a little bit more like a wireframe model. But I kind of like the points. And I arranged the game so that I could make any three-dimensional shape as long as I could load in whatever points that I wanted. And so I want to experiment with other shapes. But to start, a simple sphere is good. So in the right-hand view, you can see the sphere. And I just did that because it's easy to do the math to make the points. And so I have two ships on the sphere. One is white and one is blue. And they're constrained to the 2D facets of the sphere. And they can accelerate or decelerate and turn like ships at sea or maybe like airplanes. And so the player can fly on a three-dimensional shape, but they don't really need to control or worry about the third dimension because the ships are constrained into a two-dimensional space. So in the classic 2D space shooter game, the world has a fixed center and the view doesn't really change. But you can see here in the view on the right that there's really no fixed center and the world is turning on its axis. And the wraparound feature that they had to sort of program into the original 2D games comes naturally here because it's on a sphere. And to make it clear which side the ships are on, I gave it a three-dimensional indicator so that the ship would either be a solid filled-in color or it would just be a outline color. But I kind of need to improve the graphics. The ships are not so good. The view on the left-hand side is as seen from the white ship, and it's kind of a fake three-dimensional perspective view. And you can see that it jumps a little bit when the ship crosses each facet as the angle slightly changes. I thought it would be really interesting to have a game that had two view screens where the player needs to look at both screens simultaneously or at least switch back and forth between the screens quite often. I also wanted the ability to change the camera angles. So you can see here the camera angle is changing around the world as the ship flies, and I wanted to give the player some chance to control the camera. So that's the basic introduction, but I need to work on the graphics a bit more and make the action super exciting.